Hey guys, what's up? Angren with my Diablo 4 Season 9 PTR feedback, mostly this Spiritborn, but also some Druid feedback and also the endgame content in general and the Season 9 feedback. So let's gonna start with the Spiritborn. And honestly, I never thought it, but the life of a Spiritborn enjoyer recently changed with the Balasan's Max Tlatl. It is a really nice pants, and thanks to the pants you can play kinda whatever skill you want with the Spiritborn. Yeah, it is then the kind of the damage over time scheme, but honestly this is really great. So as you can see, I got attacked by some nice guys that I will come to later. The new pants will enable every skill with that we can hit many times, because each attack damage is close enemies for our thorns damage and also deal this damage as poison, and with that we can ramp it up, and thanks to our Noxus resonance and our aspect of plane's power we can make some tremendous damage with it. And I also pushed to like pit 100 with razor wings. I could even go more beyond, like pit 105 or something, which is really good in Season 9. Spiritborn overall, it looks great for the new pants, but besides that nothing really changed. So if you don't play with the new pants, Spiritborn has still a lot of trouble. So without the pants, let's be honest, Quill Volley will still be the best, because the huge damage nerfs to overpower didn't affect Spiritborn that much. So even the normal Quill Volley build will maybe be one of the top S tier builds in the new Season 9, because every other build from the other class got tuned down. But Spiritborn has still some really major problems. So in every kind of build, if it's the Quill Volley build, the pants builds, you want to have the aspect of plane's power on your weapon and then escalate it with your Jaguar main Spiritborn, because they kind of double and triple dip, so you can ramp up really high amounts of damage, and then you can pair it with Noxus Resonance. It is a problem, and I don't think Blizzard will nerf this, but they will at least tackle it in Season 10, like with the Shepherd's aspect back then with Druid, that was kind of in every build for the Druid. These are the two heavy problems for the Spiritborn right now: aspect of plane's power and Jaguar. Even as a poison build, Centipede is just not good, even though it will deal large amounts of poison damage. But yeah, the Jaguar Spiritborn is just too good. We need some changes for the Eagle, because honestly, besides your evade build, no one really uses Eagle, and for the Gorilla build, people only use this because of the unyielding hits. And yeah, besides that, for the second ones, it's also mostly like the Jaguar that you will take. Eagle is not that great for crit chance, and yeah, the other ones, nah, also kind of mess. So Blizzard still has a lot of work to do with the Spiritborn. So let me go into some of the details of the problem. So like the basic builds are still not really great, because the problem with Spiritborn is, although the Spiritborn has some great utility with Rock Splitter to build up some thorns damage, the other basic skills are kind of don't know. Okay, Thunderspec with Evade will be good. So we're talking about playing without the new Balasan's pens. A whole basic build focused around on basic damage isn't still that good with Withering Fist or Thresh, and basically all of the core builds are giga trash. The Stinger that has kind of his own archetype with his Pestilence Swarms is really trash, and the Rake is only good if you're gonna play them with the new pens, and Crushing Hand also is that good because it doesn't deal any amount of damage, and it's the same with potions skills. Like the Razor Wings is only good now with the pants, but it's also Rushing Claw is a good build, but it's kind of giga weird to play it, and also don't like it that much, and Payback is also not that great. But for the ultimate skills, still the Hunter is the best, because apparently they even buffed the Hunter against bosses now, because with bosses we're gonna get cooldown reduction for every hit, and because we're gonna try to attack as many times as we can with the new pants, the Hunter will be even better. So they kind of buffed the Hunter, and the other ones are still bad. Protector you won't play. So the problem is we are kind of a Thorns build, so that would mean that things like the Protector would be the best to play for the Thorns build, but apparently it is really bad, because the Hunter just resets so many times. It gives us so damn great utility, and the other ones do not. The Devourer is completely dead. they need to completely revamp this ultimate, and I think the Seeker could be nice if we can actually ramp up the damage with the crit stack damage, but I think they also kind of like kept it with the critical strike bonus up to 200%, so yeah, it is now kept. But maybe I will also do a Seeker build for the Season 9, so yeah, I will at least test out some things. So in addition to the problems with our Jaguar main Spiritual and aspect of Plains power, another thing is still a huge problem, and that is cooldown reduction, because we are not playing with the Blanche's Temper any longer, we are playing with the Noxus Resonance. We kind of either need Yakin's Shell to reset our cooldowns, but you kind of need to play Andal's Visage with Yakin's Shell, because otherwise you don't have enough life leech, or you won't play with Yakin's Shell, and then you have like 3 or 4 skills that are on cooldown, and it feels so bad because they're not activated and you won't get the death or the effects on it. So yeah, the cooldowns of the Spiritborn are still far too heavy and takes far too long. As you can see, cooldown of 23 seconds, also cooldown of 70 seconds for charge cooldown of 12 seconds, so it's just too much. Also for the Ravager, cooldown of 23 seconds. If you won't play with any kind of cooldown reduction build, you are kinda lost. So yeah, that's also a problem. So I'm playing with Yakin's Shell and Andal's Visage, but in general I'm really happy for the Spiritborn. It will be a really good season for the Spiritborn, unless they giga nuke the new pens, which I won't hope. And yeah, also write down your opinions of the Spiritborn and the Season 9 in general in the comments down below. And I can also show you kinda how strong the Spiritborn is right now with the new pens. So we're gonna play with Razor Wings now, and we kinda as I saw, it's pretty easily with the Spiritborn to kill stuff and even in T4. So Spiritborn is pretty good if you are playing with the new pens. So and now some words to the Druid, and honestly it will be a quick one, but after all of the overpower nerfs, yeah, Druid is not looking good. Even the basic skill buff with like Claw and Stormstrike is not that good, because Scratch of the Ground still has some problems, and you want to play with Earth Spike and your Shard of Horadric, but that will still be kind of a pit level 70, pit level 80, maybe also pit level 90 build. But besides that, the core skills with the new Unique is giga bad, because right now, yeah, the 10 seconds downtime of the new Unique is not good. If they will reduce it, it is maybe better, but in general the new Unique for Druid is pretty bad and dead on arrival. So yeah, Druid has still the same problems, and now because of the Cataclysm build that got nuked, yeah, I don't know which builds you should play with Druid that are good. Maybe I will test out an Darrell's Visage build that is maybe kind of good with Siphon and Gizmo. Yeah, I will test this out in the last hours of the PTR, and then we have maybe some builds of Season 9, but Druid needs some heavy buffs for Season 9. In general, I think they need a major rework, because I don't know who should play Druid right now. Even me as a long-time Druid and Druid main switch to Spiritborn, because Spiritborn is better, even though Spiritborn also has major problems with his class himself. So now let's go and talk about the seasonal powers, and honestly, yeah, I'm kind of fed up with the seasonal powers. They're not bad, but honestly they are bad, because most of the powers didn't even get used. So if you're not a Spiritborn and have Noxus Resonance, you kind of play with Siphon and Gizmo for most of the times, and also Fractured Core. So already 2 spots are observed, and for the last part you take something like Potent Alloy to destroy enemy barrels. But honestly, all of the season powers, the Cataclysm or the Arcanas as they call them, are not even that exciting. So I don't know. I mean, one of the Cataclysms gives stealth for 2.4 seconds, or one Cataclysm gives like maximum resistance for 1 infusion type, or it will give us 70% more movement speed. So yeah, they're not bad, but honestly there are way better things out there, and they're not some new exciting effects like your core skills are now also potion skills, or your core skills are now also basic skills are kind of such things. Why they won't improvise with that power, so it will really alter our gameplay. So yeah, kind of disappointed and a bit sad on that one. And also the infusions, they are kind of okay. So they kind of change your elemental type that you have, and you can play with some nice combos, and also like the powers, the catalysts, but they are more of a luck hit effect. And honestly, if I wouldn't know that they are my catalysts, I even wouldn't know that they are in the game. So yeah, right now the effects of the catalysts are way too small, and because of the luck hit chance and huge cooldown, it is also not that good. And the funny thing is, you can increase the luck hit chance with your items, but you cannot decrease the cooldown with your cooldown reduction items for your catalysts, and that's bad. I hope they will get some major rework, and I also hope, man, it is one of the last seasons we're gonna get this stupid boss power season 9 theme. It is not the worst, but it's also not the best. It is kind of the same like the last season. I wish we had at least some more choices. And now the kind of cool part is, although they are just a copy pasta most of the times from season 7, the Horadric jewels are really cool because we don't have the lame boring jewels in our ear pieces for the jewelry part, and we can just experiment with some of the cool new Horadric jewels. So yeah, they're definitely a win. I won't play season 9 because of the powers. I will play season 9 because of the buff of the Spiritborn, so I'm really hyped for that one. So now for the last two parts, the dungeon escalation and like the Horadric storerooms, or how they call it. Honestly, I didn't even finish one dungeon escalation because I was in the first dungeon and I was already annoyed by the dungeon kind of objective that you have to kill all of the mobs, and it's kind of only 3 dungeons in a row and then kill a boss, and it's nothing new. With dungeon escalating, I thought about, yeah, cool, we can play so many dungeons until we are killed, or like it is kind of like a mapping system in PvE, but that is just really lame, boring, and with no proper work. They implemented some chaining of 3 nightmare dungeons in a row with a boss to it. So yeah, pretty lazy, no effort, and I don't like dungeon escalation. I didn't play it that much, as I said. I only played it for the first level. Yeah, you can check out some other channels with the dungeon escalation review with like Rob or some other content creators. They have a pretty good summary of the dungeon escalating, but yeah, it's too less, it's too late. Just give us more content, better content, and more content with more depth. And the Horadric storerooms, they are kind of cool, so yeah, you have at least some choice, but yeah, also kind of missed the mark because the boss is the Blood Bishop on the end of the Horadric storerooms, and they're kind of always the same. So yeah, my honest opinion of the season 9, besides the Spiritborn rework, I am kind of disappointed with the way Diablo 4 is heading right now. I'm having a lot of fun with the start of every season, but man, it has so much potential. It could be so much better with more endgame content, with the endgame meta progression, and I hope this will at least come with the new expansion. These are kind of the last 2 seasons, season 9 and season 10, with the kind of power theme. So yeah, write down your opinions on the season 9 in the comments down below, and also the state of Druid and the Spiritborn. And if you like my video, please leave a like and a sub. It would mean a lot to me. And also follow me on my Twitch and TikTok for regular streams. And until next video, bye.